Hi everyone, this is Ash from DevGPT with a little demo video of version 1.0.5. So in order for me to write code, all I'm going to do is I'm going to just type a prompt into here. I've also got Visual Studio Code running, and DevGPT is going to sync straight to Visual Studio Code. So I'm going to type a prompt, for example, create a new component that will act as a login form with email address and password. I'm going to go ahead and hit enter. Code generation takes about a minute on this version, but it will ask some following questions. So, is there a specific Dart design? We'll just say no. Should the logging form include any validation? We'll say make sure that the inputs are not empty. Any specific functionality or behavior required, such as handling authentication or displaying error messages? We'll just say display error messages with emojis. Okay, so as I said, this will take about a minute. This version is also free to use, and you can join our Discord once you've downloaded it down here. So it's going to give us some advice. Keep the components simple and focused, since there's no specific design or layout. Focus on creating a clean, minimalistic login form. Implement basic form validation, and use emojis to display some error messages. This will give a touch of fun. Now let's move on to writing some code. So as you see, it's written a few code files for us. It's given us a CSS file, which is actually not including any content in, so that's fine. It's put the login form in an app.js, and it's written a login form with a basic email password and some checks if they're both empty, and if they are empty, it displays a error message with an emoji as requested. Now at this point, I can sync these directly to my IDE, or I can sync all of them to my IDE just by hitting this button here. And again, if I now swap to Visual Studio Code, I can see all of these changes are now in my local editor. So I can also now ask a follow-up prompt. So let's say, as you see right now, it's got, it's displaying one error message saying all fields are required. I'm just going to say inside of loginform.js, inside of loginform.js, can you display separate error messages if the user has not entered a password instead of not entering an email? I probably could have said that in a bit of a better way, but it's one of the advantages is that it will figure out what we mean. So it might ask clarifying questions here, some follow-up questions if we weren't clear enough, but more than usual, it will just write some code now. Again, takes about 60 seconds. The other features in this version, which I'll quickly show you after this, is you can now type at, and it will automatically read files from your repository and pull them in. So there you go, it's now got two separate ones, email is required or password is required. I'm going to go ahead and sync that to my IDE. And then last little thing I'll show you is that in the new version, you can also type at to select file. So for example, I could say improve the content. Also, I could say, even a better example, write a unit test for my login form, or for login form, that's the one that's just been created. I hit tab to accept that suggestion. And then DevGPT will know exactly which component to search inside of, try the unit test. That's it for the demo. Thanks everyone.